Okay. Alright. Not sure what happened there. Let's just go back and check my channel. What can you do? Just having a real trouble of a time trying to get this stream going today. Oh well, I'm not sure where I stopped off, but yeah, they're up paid to which is brilliant. So, as you can see, there's lots of love hate to previous dungeon games. It's very clearly based on some of the titles, the early ones, but with a to a lot of mental health and trauma. Things that go away and your video game breaks down. What do you know? For a second there, I thought that my game was broken. I mean, it's already broken my stream once. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that you guys received. But, yes. Talking about supporting anyway, here we are now. Dreamscaper, brilliant game. That is how I'm so a lot of things. Let's guess it. And the story unfolds as you play through it very similar to Dark Souls. Little pieces here and there. As I said, I've put quite a few hours into this game now. I'm at 17 hours, possibly 30% of the way through the game. It may be a little higher than that now. I've been creeping up by collecting the items and things like that, things that I'd missed potentially in earlier playthroughs, or differing playstyles that I hadn't tried. Yeah, the game is made to be played through as many times as possible. Very sort of almost similar to Hades, but more varied. If you wished your Hades came with a little extra flavor in terms of weapons or optional items that were at your disposal. This is very much that. There are bombastic attacks reminiscent of Final Fantasy, where you call down attacks from the heavens. The Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War is seemingly present in this. It's fantastic, but it's everything fun and everything that a dungeon crawler should be, packaged with the emotional devastation of living through this creature's life and the woes of that. I've yet to see some of the major wins. She's made some excellent friends and people have tried to help along the way, but there are quite clearly some troubles, some struggles that go along with that. And you see more of those. But as time goes on, seemingly grow growing more confident. Almost feel sorry for whacking these small scale enemies. They are... Okay, clearly chunking this. You do get some... You get an alternate attack that does breaks guards usually, or is intended to break guards, something like that, or something to that effect. But your main go-to attack will be the one that you... There we go. Look at that. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull that off this early on the stream. This game has a magnificent hidden mechanic behind it that allows you to find these rooms. And it's not just these rooms. This whole game is based around finding hidden niche things in prior locations. And how does your new understanding impact that? It's amazing. I could espouse the values of this game for hours and I still know nothing about it. I love it. It's pretty broad. I already had the notion, some of you may have seen over this past bits of my work, that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to feel things and resolve issues and look at most art, which large parts of this almost anything that somebody has spent hours and hours and hours working on. I'm not about to say that Duke Nukem Forever is up, but it did languish for 12 years. So yeah, we found a shop here. Oh, damn it. I was not trying to buy that immediately, but I guess we'll deal with it. Yeah, I'm putting off, as you've seen, all of the notifications on this screen here stem to what you have left in the room. So there's a health potion here, there's some of the currency left over here. The starting room is here, and then the boss room is just ahead, and that's what's marked with that horrible face, so that's why we're avoiding it at all costs. Okay. But if you've noticed at this point, all of these things have been in the same theme, shall we say. Same themed area. Each of the levels comes with a boss, and as I touched upon earlier, there is an emotional investment. It is very okay to have this game takes full advantage of that, as your character seemingly comes to terms with the issues represented in her dreams. And here's the first one. And it does a far more than adequate job of showing that. Later on, as you get to this point, you'll have less of a problem dealing with this boss. You'll learn to compile things like bombs. You get some abilities later on in the passive nature that allow you to deal with the boss a little more effectively. But he is a brutal encounter. Early doors, it took me a couple of tries to get past him, especially the hyper beam attack that he has there. There are some small tricks, such as being able to hit him when he's using these range attacks, leading him and waiting for him to get there, using elusive attacks to get a couple of extra hits in quickly before he dies back underwater. I think the record that I have it down is beating him in 7 seconds, but that was due to using the bombs. There we go. I'll leave you with the beautiful cutscene. successfully coming to terms with that fear. Wonderful allegory, and if you're a fan of art, tell me how you feel about that. I think it touches upon the nature of that almost irrational fear wherever you're in a body of water that a shark or a tentacled creature is going to reach up and grab at your ankle. And it does an excellent job of that. The idea of using a depth charge to bring it up to your level in order to deal with it. Excellent. Again, the similar unknown fear of squalls of wind, freezing you to the bone. Another one. As you finish every level, you're left with this scrapbook of memories. And there you go. So you get to look through your equipment here, all the items that you accrue. As for keepsakes, you'll be able to keep as many of them as you find, or as far as I've been, that's what I found. But I've also, I haven't been able to fill it yet. As for influences, you have to explore the area when you're awake to find any of the passive impacts on the game. But you'll see as per all the items that you've picked up in the game, on the right hand side your character stats will be influenced by that. So here we go. Back into the dream again. See if we can do the mythical perfect first run. I highly doubt it, but if I did have recommendations for this game, keep using the baseball bat for as long as possible. You'll find out quickly that you can master weapons. It comes with an added effect. The baseball bat allows you to clear space away from you. It hits incredibly quickly. Find out which shield you like. For instance, I like this one here because I don't parry often. It gives you an invincible shield that takes 1 hit. It takes 15 seconds to reach. Yep, as with Dark Souls as well, what you're going to want to look for is openings in their attacks. If you treat this game like Hades or like another dungeon crawler where you just wail on everything inside until you win, you're going to have a bad time. As you saw there, I took 2 hits from that creature, and like Dark Souls, I hate to compare everything to it, but any creature that attack is capable of killing you. These here have many different attacks that are swapped through. As they get later on in the game, you'll find some have that tower where they'll continually shoot 6 to 8 bullets at you. Some will shoot instantly, some have a laser beam similar to Superman's eye laser. But every enemy is magic slow. And I'm taking this a little slower than I usually would. Normally I zip through these levels at a rate of knots. Here we are now. Yeah, I truly hate the enemies that control the area of the deck. That's what I do. There we go. Okay, so we're locked. We clearly can't go this way anymore. Let's head back. But you may have noticed that this world, whilst beautifully curated, is completely different to the original arena. And that's because this area of the world comes to do with moving to a different location. What that meant for our character. What that brings her to deal with, comes with at the end of this level. And I won't spoil anything. You'll just have to keep watching and see if I make it that far. But it is something quite special. Each of the boss encounters are very special. In fact, I think this one here might actually be my favorite of the lot. that I've seen so far. The third one's okay. Conceptually, it is. No, I'd say okay. Everything in this game is beautifully put together, but conceptually, I just preferred the concept of this boss here and how you actually manage to get underneath its skin and overwhelm it. It's tied directly into the concept of what the boss is. Let's just see some of the passive effects and the weapons. I don't use the ranged weapons as much as I should either, but some of the passive effects are worth picking up. This one increased our max health by 10% and our health recovery. So as we pick up items that heal our health, it will add to the tree. There we go. That's what the ranged weapons look like. Go to the shop. Huh, if going to the shop is this difficult for you, you might be in a video game. A little rich for my blood. Alright. So it turns out we could have quite literally just gone north from our starting location. What do you know? And we would have we'd have been away with it. Each of the levels, seemingly, the individual fight grams are seemingly based on our experience with that location she was in. Cassidy, the character we're playing as. So, remembers driving on the rain in traffic. And again, beautifully caught frozen moments in time. So one thing you may notice as well is in the top left hand corner as you use your ranged weapons, the lucid meter underneath the top of underneath the health bar at the top of the screen there goes down. That's what you use for your ranged attacks, and it's also what you use for your lucid time. So how much time you have before time starts flowing when you use your frozen time actor. Frozen time. What activity? Ability, there you go. I really don't want that thing to go off again yet. Okay, good. No hidden area in this world yet. Oh, it's beautiful though. What did I mention? I mentioned the old Super Slugger, and here it is. I'll pause and let you guys run through this. As you remember things, it's written in first person tense. So, tell you a story. I grew up on the outside looking in, right? So, grew up a long way from the bright lights. Pretty city part of London. We did have a killer movie theater right there. It was like tucked in all amongst the refill stores for carpentry and construction. Yeah, a ton of movie screens all centered around the central place. If you're American, you won't get the reference, but sweet and salty popcorn was the order of the day. Yeah, it was amazing. I remember being there many a time. But it was just tucked in. There was a Mexican food restaurant nearby. Tucked in beside this is really taking me back, trying to remember this. A furniture depot one side, and a post office depot on the other. Here we go. My favorite boss fight in the game thus far. Not only because I absolutely adore the old Octopus, but so what you may have noticed as well is whenever I start the fight against these bosses here, what I try to do is I try to use the freeze time ability. It allows you to get just a little bit more of a hit boss. Get a couple of visual clues and audio clues in order to help you time it right. You do have to treat it very much like a Souls-esque boss. Isolation as well is not great at I've been lucky enough that I've had a couple, most of these have been perfect dodges, but what you'll find is that isolation absolutely wrecks you when it knows where you are. But if you're fighting it and it misses you at its attack, it tends to be more damage to itself. Something like this. You get that bullet hell-esque style of fight. The Nier Automata is another game that does really well. It crosses that border of what this game has to be or what this game is supposed to be. Run. This is it. Could this be the end of Cassidy? Okay, so now we just have to endure one more time. Wow, I really wish I'd saved some of the bombs that I used earlier on for this. Oh, there we go. I think we just managed to escape that. Wow, something I've just noticed. Something beautiful that I just noticed that you may not notice until later on. Keep in mind that your character loves travel. And that stuff that being based on a globe has relevance. As it's representative of one of the things that Cassidy has lost. Incredible. The more I play this game, the less I know about it. But it is Truly, truly impressive. I'm so thankful that after my devs left their companies and started this, because I'm blown away. This is not only, continuing my piece that it is okay to feel in video games or feel an emotional devastation, to put it in the old TikTok words, to feel the emotional devastation of something like this. Yeah, missed the secret room. Alright, we'll go back to sleep again. This is amazing. I've been at this for 30 minutes and haven't kicked the bucket yet. The part that I actually wanted to show you guys is the waking world and how it's heavily impacted by the things you do in your sleep. The ruminations and things that you've brought to bear. Yeah, I only know one ghost story. It's horrifying now. Okay, so what you may have seen or may not have seen is the introduction of this enemy. It's completely different to the rest of them. Functions differently. Just the worst. What it does is it buffs other enemies and then runs at you to deliver just an absolutely ruinous attack. So we're trying to get rid of that one first unsuccessfully. Whoa, horrible. There we go. Maybe even playing field, so now we're just gonna run away, kite it around the arena like a real hero. And then just bounce them off the wall with the super slugger. This is another reason that you should use it in the early game if you're having trouble. Alright. So there's not likely to be any surprises. Hey, we finally got another lucid attack. I'll show you guys that. Not likely to be any surprises, there you go, as I was mentioning, in this early game. As the level's style is so small. There you go, little flip. Okay, I'm not above using it. Spamtastic if it gets me the win. Ah, there we go. Finally kicked the bucket. So, here we are. So here we are, yes, this is the key part of the game. Now that you're familiar with the gameplay loop and you've seen how it plays, you've seen how it handles, and you've seen roughly about halfway into the game. That's most of the playable area right now. I've gotten one level further, but not much further than that, and I can tell you it is a heel turn that is drastically terrifying. So if you're into your horror games and bringing peace to difficult thoughts and ruminations, and coming to terms with difficult pieces, do stick around for that later on. But here we're about to enter the waking world, which is the real world, and the world in which our protagonist Cassidy finds herself in. But this is the interesting part, and again, as per the last paragraph there, the progress made here will persist, so you can actually pick up abilities, perks, passive moves, things like this, and new weapons to attack the terrible dreams with in the future. You may have noticed that there are 4 different utility icons in the bottom right of the screen. You're going to use them eventually for purposes unknown. For now, we're going to go see what we can find. Here's the bar, the meeting place of all lost souls. So as you can see, all useful things. The font of life is the healing item that you saw earlier on. The lucid fills your lucid bar, or if it's full, it gives you more lucid. But in order to unlock the more daydreams for you, you're going to have to buy some. So I won't do the puzzle of revelation for you. It's Minesweeper. It is incredibly difficult, although seemingly if you've figured out all the puzzles, it becomes very easy for you. So what are we going to do? Okay, I don't really need the merchant room for now. At later levels it's more important. Enchantment room is important. Life is important. Connection 1 is very fun. Challenge rooms as well. Good stuff. Okay. Let's introduce ourselves to the new locations here. And oh, what's this? There are a couple of people in that previous place too. I wonder if they'll come to bear. So we've seen a park, a cafe, and a couple of lovely creatures. I'm rushing you through the introduction. Basically, as you go through different places, you'll learn what they're for. The Silk Lounge directly interacts with the physicality of the dreams. So it unlocks more items in the merchant shop. It unlocks new rooms for you. All the basic rooms can become challenge rooms or interesting puzzle rooms that will reward you with more and more upgrades as time goes on. Meditate. This is the area which focuses on Cassidy herself, and actually there's something here that I didn't quite focus on, but I should have. Looking at the meditate options here, what you might find interesting, and I found really truly beautiful, is looking at the meditation options. Becoming the best version of myself is the lovely tagline itself, but they're all based on grounded and realistic things. So developing a healthy mindset, increasing your health, developing a focus mindset. I know exactly what I want to do with the attacks. They're all situational, all of the lucid attacks. Some of them open you up to taking more damage in the long run as well. You have to stand there for a while. But the one that took me and just ran with me was Don't Let Later Demons Get to Me. First time I saw it all the way through until now is that's what I actually have invested the most of my meditation is. What have we found? We don't have enough inspiration just yet. So, let's go home. That last item is for craftables, so we'll figure that out. That last item is for craftables, and you'll figure out what they're for later on and why they're important to Cassidy. So I found something nice about this game is it touch on aspects I really didn't think games were equipped or were going to touch on. As there's been so many big statements and militaristic movements and focus on enhanced gameplay and all the rest of it. This style of game touches upon something near and dear to my heart, which is displacement trauma and looking back and thinking, oh, wasn't back then beautiful versus now? But unfortunately there is no There is really no now and then, it's just the now. It's back, sure, probably places if I could, but I think it takes growing to realise that for me, at least my home was not necessarily a place but a point in time. That point in time doesn't necessarily exist in the same way any longer. Or it won't unless it is nurtured. I grew up in a place where, which is a brilliant weapon, so I'll show you guys this, but I grew up in a place and time where my area spoke 360 something dialects. Yeah, my area spoke 360 some dialects. It's not to say that we all got on, but we actually, in London, there isn't much space for us to live right next to one another, so you like to get on or get on, as it were. Here's that puzzle of connection that we unlocked earlier on, so as you'll notice, it really does directly interact physically with the dream. Yeah, but it's been a long time. I've been gone away a long time. At least I was back in my homeland, specifically my home area. There was an unnerving amount of heavy right wing British national vibes stuff. So, like I said, without nurture, that place in town would never exist. But it's a damn sight better off than almost anywhere I've been. It's far out in. That said, the country's trying to tear down the rise bill right now. What's being done to stay side with the Roe vs. Wade piece. Just disappointed all around. But yes, there you go. A little bit of my disappointment from changes a lot. The values and how your brain views the rest of the world. I know for me, when I came here, I expected different things. I had a friend. I expected that if I shared of myself, freely give myself in ways that were motivated similarly to help me, is your word and the value of your word. So I really always held mine close, and yeah, eye for an eye. If you call me when I need you, vice versa. I found that wasn't very much the same, and the values that people had were different. Just different. Why it's changed? Not to say one is better or worse than the other. Here we are. I'll show you another wonderful thing that we unlocked prior. This is what's known as the Forge. It is beautifully animated. Straight out of Minecraft. So now, because we don't have any items that are drastically useful, what we'll do is we'll head to the shop and see what's for sale. Okay, so as you'll notice here, as we get up to the top, we've got the exact same weapon, but significantly better. So this will cost a lot more to upgrade now, but a bit more equipped for it. Okay, now we may recognize this guy from somewhere before, so we'll skip the cutscene. This time we have more looted attacks to hit him with, and we'll have a better weapon. So, come on. And you'll notice that that 5% really does do more than it is. Sorry. You sound ridiculous. Choose just trying to get as many hits as possible on this before it goes back underwater. There we go, hyper beam. What do you know? I'll give you another visually beautiful cutscene. The comes with it. Oh. As you'll notice here, all of the items, hard to say for a time when your shoebox or an apartment eats up your entire paycheck. Yeah, all of the items are to do with life. So all of your keepsakes that you pick up that allow you extra benefits, all to do with life, how it's going, should we say. Let's just check the cost for upgrading our weapons. I don't think that we'll have enough, but it's worth it, right? What you may notice as well is that you can upgrade absolutely anything in your inventory, except for your keepsakes, which you can destroy in order to get sand to help you upgrade other items along the way. Oh, we're short by 12, that's terrible. Well, let's get out of it. What I do like about Dreamscaper as well is that I may have racked up 17 hours, but those 17 hours have been racked up mostly at the end of a day. You know, as I'm trying to wind down and come to terms and grips with some of the stuff that's gone on that day. What do I do well for me? Sorry, I just that possibly surprise me. Yeah, what do I do? Yeah, how did I rack up 17? I racked it up mostly playing at the end of the day before I went to sleep. Before I went to sleep. With the quick resume function on Xbox Series S, which Dreamscaper is beautifully modified for, it just picks up immediately where you left off. So I could have been playing any other game or a series of other games. This game will quick resume right to the point where which I finished at, which is fantastic. Excuse me. There we go. But as you'll see, the other wonderful part about this is that each of the weapons has been animated very differently. So you, in effect, are playing... Damn it. I don't know if I'd hit that with the bomb. I probably would have gotten a key out of it. That's frustrating. So now we know we have a 20% health item there. Go over here. And a lot of this is... in that it's in finding a solution that is beside. Okay. What do you know? Just like the old Zelda games, there is always a solution. Missed that. There's a hidden door there. Excellent. This is very cool. You guys will enjoy this. So as you go through, you may have noticed earlier on that you can add different kinds of moves. Tells you a lot about the person here. I know people who'll swear by a burger. They don't know. The old 3 o'clock McDonald's. Yes, yes. Don't you know it? I know people that'd rather get a curry. Okay, don't knock it till you tried it. I know a lot of people would rather get food that you can eat. So, you know, give me a shout. Along those lines. Yes, there you go. Anyway, that's the upgraded dodge that I was talking about. Learning step is one of the first ones that I managed to master, because it comes with a plus 5% punch chance, which is clever. Okay, so what you'll notice is that this door was on the right hand side, which means it will be on the left hand side of this room. So if I put the bomb here, what do you know? Just one moment, guys. For the stream. Apologies, sorry late. It's worried. Maybe someone around. Interesting. Okay, so this is an item that I haven't found.